5. Okay? Name
Wee.
tags. It's this person. They're adorable. Hello. Good luck. You're going to do great, okay?
Mhm.
Bah. I want to do a super fast model swap to make sure that they actually have me loaded. I'm just going to let them walk in. And whenever they walk in, I will respond to them. There you are, dear. How are you doing? I knew you'd make it. This is just going to be a fun little scene. Brand new role player who I staggered upon in a social lobby. Today, we get to follow up with a Miss Marigold. Should be long enough for them to load that model. And we're going to swap back. Make sure I look good. Good. Oh, this bedroom. Oh, there's a lot of guns. We're not using this room. This room doesn't exist. I don't know if they know to go. I don't know if they know to go. I don't know if they know to go. Let's hunt them down. Oh, they're coming.
Oh.
There you are. And here I was worried that you weren't going to find it here.
Oh yeah. You kind of get a little turned around a little bit, but I managed to find my way.
You're probably tired, poor thing. Come, let's get you somewhere to sit down at least.
Mm.
Do you want me to put anything on?
Oh no, you're fine.
Okay. You're not late, don't worry. To my understand, they have most of the evening free.
Most of the evening free?
Oh, they're busy, obviously. They probably can't book the whole night just for you. Should have
Uh,
plenty of time, though. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling alright so far. Looking at just everything.
Okay. Anything changed since I saw you? Sorry that I missed you at the bar. I lost track of time.
Oh no, you're fine. Well, I did take your advice and I did,
Hmm?
de-manifest myself for a bit.
You're relaxing a bit? How are you feeling?
Mm-hmm. A lot more energized.
Good. Thought you'd feel better.
Mm.
Little heavier, too.
Eee.
Your hair's coming in nicely.
Oh, my hair?
Looks richer than before.
Huh, I guess it does. I never really noticed that.
Likely hard to notice. I doubt you show in mirrors very much yet.
Not really. It's kind of hard to see my reflection.
It'll come in time. How long's it been now? Month?
From me keeping track, I would say around 4 months and a half now.
4. Okay. Do you know what you're going to ask for?
Yeah.
Sounded pretty certain.
Mm-hmm.
Well, get comfy.
I don't.
Hmm?
Yeah.
You don't?
Oh no, I still have trouble sitting down on things.
You're fine.
So for what I have in mind is that I want to do the things that you do, but I'm not going to exceed to the extent of where I want to come back to life, because if I do that, I never know what the chance possibilities
Honestly,
of that might be.
coming back is messy, even in the best of times. It
Yeah.
doesn't really fix any problems either. After a while, you're just gonna wind up back here anyway. And if anything, it just makes things harder for you.
Mm.
I'll let I'll leave those kind of
Yeah.
details to him though.
But yeah, I just want to be able to become corporeal so I can interact with people. That's all I really want. Nothing really special.
Well, I think you're gonna do fine. Okay?
Mm.
Besides, don't worry, they already know all about your well, what you're hoping for at least.
Oh, okay.
Well, there's tricks of the trade, things coming and going. I'm gonna catch my breath for a second. Are you okay? Turning away for a minute?
Uh, yeah, I can turn away.
Sorry. Just that whole thing where you never really know what part of you is going to fade away first. Give her a minute to load me. Go up to my regular. After all, I do suppose it's all practice, anyway.
Do I have permission to turn around now?
I'll save you the trouble.
Oh!
Pleasure to meet you. It's
You're
Marigold,
the
I believe.
so. Oh. Hi. Nice to meet you, sir.
All right, I'm already seeing the change in posture. Very well. I'm the person who. What now?
Sorry, I saw you on Metagram before.
Oh. Oh, what part? The news articles?
News articles and, well, the distasteful comments, I
Of course.
suppose.
Well, everyone's free to have an opinion.
Mm.
Is that going to be a problem for you, Miss Marigold?
No, I really can care less what people think of other people. I make my own opinions about people myself.
And this is simply business. If anything, personal health. That and
Mm.
what's wrong with doing a bit of a good deed for a young lady amongst all the rest of the chaos? A change of pace is healthy for me to refocus.
Mm. Um,
But where are my manners? Jonas Hemwick. Or Councilman, if you truly wish to make this completely professional. I will say it's unnecessary.
no, just, is Mr. Johnson fine?
Mr. Hemwick or simply Jonas will do just fine.
Okay, Mr. Hemwick.
Formalities it is. Miss Marigold.
Sorry, back in my homeland, formalities are a sign of respect.
And I will not fault you for being polite.
Mm.
Now then, what are we working with?
Um, well, I just want to be able to just generally interact with my friends and people around. Having
A bit
being
of a wish
incorporeal
list.
kind of makes. Yeah.
All right. There's a few different ways. But what I'm curious of is what we're working with.
Hmm?
Well, think of this like I'm your newest physician. This is personal health, after all. I'm also curious to know what you
Ah.
know about yourself. What you are now.
Well, I did find out I'm a kind of a yokai.
Do you know what kind?
You're right. Spirits are bounded by prolonging regrets, guilt, or resentment.
Ah, a phantom. Simple enough. Unfinished business, dear. Someone you want revenge on.
No, longing regrets. I'm not a very spiteful person.
Unsatisfied. All right. Simple question then is, what happens when you feel happy about yourself? Do you intend to just move on, accept the cycle?
Not really. I kind of want to stick around as long as I can.
And why is that?
Because I made so many friends and I got a new family now, and I don't want to leave all that behind.
Family. 4 months and a new family.
Mm. Yeah.
Keeping out of trouble, I hope so.
Believe me, I'm trying my best to keep out of trouble, but sometimes trouble likes to follow me.
Oh, this city has a way of doing that to people. I wouldn't have you fault yourself for it. Something we're working on. Passionately.
Mm. Well, I've already been getting better adjustment to my form, so I've been able to hold objects for like an hour or two before
An
running out of
hour.
energy.
It's very good progress. Much better from the last time I ran into you when you couldn't even raise a glass. Coming from the resting, then.
I've been practicing. Yeah.
Good. Have you considered changing how you look? Making adjustments?
Mm, Overall, I'm actually quite happy with how I look,
The true
and it's nothing I
self.
really want to change.
That's fine. Your visage will adapt to what you need. Largely based on your
Mm.
emotions, more often than not. The biggest part is making sure that you don't lose yourself. Unless you start to unravel.
Yeah, I heard a priestess warn me about that before.
Unraveling?
Losing myself, more of.
Your sense of self is important. Alright.
Mm.
May I ask for some personal questions?
You're... Yes, you can.
Very well. How old were you, dear, when you passed?
I turned just 20.
Just barely an adult. Oh, not even by some standards, depending who you ask.
Mm.
Could you care to tell me what happened, dear? Do you remember?
Well... Yeah, I remember.
Every detail, if you're willing.
Every... Okay,
It's important knowing what you're coming from and how you changed. How do I put this? The door you stepped through will very much impact the path you take.
Mm.
It defines you, in a way.
Well, back in my world, to put it lightly, we didn't have any advanced technology, no magic. The very fabric of ghosts, spirits, monsters, and all that were nothing but fairy tales and books.
Muggles.
Mm.
Either that or simply
I...
devoid of mana, or at least too thin to be able to use it. There's a few different
Hmm.
reasons for a home like that.
I come from a rural town in Japan named Takayama.
Hmm. I know someone who you might make good friends with then.
Hmm. The town wasn't exactly very advanced with medical practices or anything like that. I so happen to be an unfortunate one who was born with an advanced terminal illness.
And with no treatment, I'd assume.
All I could really do is help me keep alive, but even then, I could only go so far to an extent.
Comfortable.
I was born with advanced muscular dysphoria, which gradually over time, all of my muscles in my body would slowly rot away or weaken.
Atrophy. And over time, the important ones, such as the heart and the brain, would begin decaying as well.
Yes.
I'm sorry, dear. I can understand how you're feeling then. You were never really allowed to have a life. I can
Nope,
only assume
stuck
that you were
within a
bedridden.
hospital room. Yeah.
Did you have siblings? Close friends?
The only close friends I really had were the doctors and nurses that helped take care of me, but as for siblings, if I did have any, I wouldn't probably be aware of it.
What about your parents? Were they close?
They abandoned me at the age of 12.
I'm sorry.
It's fine.
You're not alone
They never really
in that sort
visited
of
in the
life, I'm
first
afraid.
place.
Well, their loss. And now, welcome to your second chance. The sheer fact that you are getting this shows that you have some semblance of the gift. Not everyone comes back. Not everyone lingers.
Yeah, someone explained to me that I came from the Nexus, which I don't really know what that is.
I can define. The city you're in, Zephyra. You arrived here, yes?
Um, yes, but before then, I was originally, how do I put this? I first appeared at a place named, was it Terra Terminal?
I'm not familiar, I'm afraid.
Uh, some train station,
That's fine.
and to put it simply, that's when I first met, the world itself and all the
All the
unique
strange
individuals that
things in
reside
it.
within it.
I
Yeah.
can only imagine how jarring that would have been, especially watching demons walking among us at times. Have you met one
I
yet?
was. I've met a couple, honestly.
Hmm. I'm not talking about those mm, mudded tieflings. I'm talking about pure demons. Evil incarnate. Quite interesting. But you were asking questions. Are you alright with a history lesson? I'll try to keep it brief.
Uh, yeah, sure.
Here in Zafira, there was an event approximately 50 years ago. But for many other worlds, many other places, it happened much, much longer ago. An event called the... Oh, I just had the word on my mind. I just had it. Started with a C. I just had it in my brain. Damn it. It's awkward. Started with a C. It'll come to me. Regardless. 50 years ago or so, think of if every single... Perfect idea. Back in school, did your teacher ever use a projector? Little...
I never went to school.
Bother. Well, do you know how a projector works? Slides,
I'm familiar with
plastic
a
sheets.
projector, yes.
Think about it like this. Pick a slide from a projector. You're supposed to only watch one at a time, yes?
Yes.
Essentially, think of it as looking through every slide at the same time. That's what happened. Now,
Oh.
some points of view see more of the slides than others. Sphera is an axis, which means we are smack dab in the middle of all of them, or at least most of them. It very much appears that this place has a much thinner barrier between itself and the others. Which is why you may just meet people who come from a very similar place, a very similar Sephira, but perhaps have a completely different understanding of world history. Maybe a different country won a war which defined the rest of the world. Or perhaps a leader was never elected. All we know now is once we get to this point, we're all in it together. Many histories, many worlds, just meeting at a single point. Does that make sense? It's a lot to think about. I acknowledge that. You'd have called me insane. You'd probably be correct.
Honestly, from what I've seen so far, as I've been here, I wouldn't call you insane.
How's my definition of it? Are you following? I can explain another way.
From my understanding, it's like this place is like a core that extends out like a spider web, essentially.
Sure, that's the way to put it.
Hmm. How did this
I remember
happen?
the word. The convergence. That's what it was.
Yep.
I knew it would come to me. Now, from this earth, it was quite jarring. What you see outside in Zephyra is their normal. Flashing lights, metal streets, concrete, flying cars, electricity, and neon. This is their normal. Things like you and I never existed and were never meant to exist, at least outside of a ghost story. So how do you think they responded when monsters literally started walking the streets? Laws had to be changed.
Fear, panic, hatred, I'm assuming.
And especially when many of the people who were born here, born and raised, many of them suddenly had the gift. That was the wrong one, but you get the idea.
Hmm.
There we are. The gift. Imagine just you, yourself, waking up one day, being able to wield fire, shape water, move mountains at a whim.
Hmm.
These people panicking. Now powerful, learning how to use these new abilities, becoming heroes of their own. Companies marketed it, researched it. In fact, our very own Kaijin Tower here in District Zero used it to create their very own form of clean power generation. By dampening the ether and the mana within the district, they provide the rest of the city with their vibrant light. That is one thing I will warn you. Never go to District Zero. I doubt you'll survive. Your ether's too thin. That and it's just simply dangerous there in general. I wouldn't recommend it to anyone.
Hmm.
If it gives a comparison, even I struggle being there for overly long. Anything more than a few hours and I start to get a bit thin. So please, avoid District Zero. Unless you want to be powering my light bulb.
Yeah, I'm definitely not going to visit there.
Good. Otherwise, clerics, places of worship, you should also avoid them. Radiant energy, positive energy, it interferes with you. It'll try to equalize you. You're necrotic now. Negative, ethereal. Or, as some would claim, yokai, phantom. Regardless of what it is, you are a being that is not made of the physical. What you are now is just a small cloud of ether holding what is left of your mind together. You're very coherent. I'll give you that. You must have been very strong-willed. Most lose memory. Some have trouble with words. You are doing very well. I look forward to seeing how you progress. Other questions?
Does anyone know how this conversion happened, or?
Becoming what you are now. Is that what you mean? Becoming see-through? Dead? She might be dead. She might have just crashed. Oh, there she is.
Yeah, I'm pondering that a little bit.
That is the cycle. The way that things are supposed to be. The program that the very gods decided for you.
Gods?
Yes, they exist. Everything exists now, dear. Every possibility has happened. Every choice you ever made, and every choice you didn't make. It's out there somewhere. But regardless of that, you are still just as unique. This very precise combination of actions, words, and choices that have led you here right now. Do you need me to define the cycle for you? What it
If you could,
should
please.
be doing? By default, the cycle is birth, growth, decay, and death. 4 stages, like 4 seasons. Spring, the time of birth and rebirth. Your creation. Summer, the height of your life, your prime. Decay, when you start to fall apart, and when you eventually do die, cease to be. And winter, being the time of stillness, the long sleep and recovery, where you are returned to your base components and return to spring to be reborn, remade, and the cycle starts anew. So, what happened to you, dear, is you are stuck right at the cusp of winter. You are denying death, at least in full. Now, this is all hearsay. I'm an expert in the subject, as I like to, advertise. But there are varying theories. When you are born, multiple parts come together. the soul, the mind, and your vessel. The mind possesses all of your memories, your intelligence, calculations, and your wit. The soul powers your emotions, your passions, love, fear, fury, everything that makes you feel alive. Your soul is very much what makes you and defines that you are alive. Between the mind and your soul working together, you gain consciousness. But it is like water cast on pavement. If you leave it out in the open, it'll evaporate over time. So, we need a vessel, a jar, a cup, a wine glass, something to hold you together, stop you from being whittled away by the sunlight and the heat. And so, a physical body. Something to keep you bottled up as you enjoy life. And when the vessel expires, when it falls apart, your consciousness seeps out. By default, your consciousness, your soul, is then processed. If you have sworn yourself to a god or patron or sold yourself to a devil, well, your soul will go there, and your mind likely along with it, tagging along for the ride, to enjoy paradise, purgatory, or damnation, whichever you were either deserving of or chose for yourself. But not for you. You seeped through the cracks, whether by accident or by dumb luck. Or some of us find intentional methods to avoid the cycle, escape it. But that doesn't mean we're free from it. Over time, dear, you will start to erode without proper care. And that's what I'm hoping that we can help you with. For example, resting. It makes it much easier to get around as well, less clumsy. It's a good trick, especially when you're trying to stay out of trouble. And in time and proper practice, it can be second nature to you. It can be more than just resting your head and melting away. It can be a convenience. To be honest, it's almost like holding my breath. Every now and then I have to come up for air. Clear my head. Are we following along so far?
Yes, sir.
Any questions?
Someone did tell me before that holding your coiled forms like holding a ball.
It's a good example. But just because they can see you doesn't mean that they can touch you. Even just this is already an achievement. Not only are you conscious, you're visible, and strong enough at least to shake the air around you to make words. Once you're
Oh,
strong, you're already interacting with the world physically. You're shaking oxygen, making sound, vibrations. You're already doing it without realizing.
oh.
Starting to make sense now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Can you see why I find this so much fun? I think it's fascinating. These forms are so close to just being perfect on their own. Well, yes, it requires some maintenance. You're nowhere near as fragile as before. A couple of allergies, but everything has its weakness. Ready for our next chapter? This is
Yes,
the
sir.
important one. Your mental health, your emotional health. It should be your number one priority. And I mean that completely seriously. More important than your love life, more important than your friends. Albeit friends and love can be very beneficial, but they can also harm you disastrously. What happens if you lose yourself? If you find yourself in a situation where you lose your drive, your will to move on, you'll sort of lose your sense of self. Memories will slip away. Your personality will become lesser than less than what you should be. And all of those monster movies that you've seen, zombies coming to life, wanting to devour those around them, ghosts possessing bodies, trying to preserve themselves. That is what you risk becoming. More than likely, instinctively. Think of it like going feral. Instinctively, your consciousness will seek a vessel to protect itself so that it can regrow again. You'll look for a body to take over. Sadly, at that point, people will see you as a threat and protect themselves, more than likely. Which is why we have to avoid going that low. Once we do, we're nothing more than monsters. That's the cruel reality of it. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
This is what we refer to as unraveling. The layers of you start coming apart at the seams. And you can bring yourself back together. But once you go, you're not coming back, dear. There's no second chances after this. So, best we make the best of it. All right?
Yes, Mr. Hemwick.
It's scary, but it's important you know. So, let's move on to how do we live a very successful and fortuitous afterlife. Something you can do, if you want to take it the safe way, is you can provide yourself back into the cycle. You can find God, more or less, and or let a demon claim you, devour you, make it all end. Or God can welcome you into paradise. Or you can submit yourself to some sort of damnation. It's up to you. You can jump back into the pool, as it were. Let the tide take you. Personally, I enjoy being in control of my own life. I'm a free spirit, as it were. Do you have any hobbies? Anything that brings you joy to do?
Reading.
All right. Any vices? Drinking, smoking, maybe a fine white powder of whatever flavor prefers you. Sweets, perhaps. Or maybe warm company. Habits, addictions. Something you just couldn't put down.
Never really had an addiction.
All right. Aren't we the healthy one? I have a couple of vices of myself. I indulge in them from time to time. I'll let you guess. What do you think mine is? I have 3.
Drinking?
That's one. I do it more so as a formality, every now and then. Helps me remember.
Is smoking another?
Not myself. I have tried it, and I accept if it's given to me, but it's not one of my vices. You did well, though. The others you'll just have to learn by getting to know me. It's terrible as
Yeah.
that can be. Moving on, though. There's a reason I ask. Your passions, the things that bring you joy to do, your reading, indulge it. Do the things that you love to do. Satisfy yourself. and it will help reinforce you this positivity, these healthy habits. Or even if they're unhealthy, they bring you joy. That you remember who you are, remember what you like doing. The most important thing that you need to do is be true to yourself and to act on things as you wish to do them. Be impulsive. Obviously have tact and class, obviously, unless we just become animals. But you're already on borrowed time. Then again, you could also have all the time in the world. It's a currency now for you. You have all the time you can ever need, but once you spend it, can't undo it. So try to live without regrets.
Right.
I'm rambling. Forgive me.
Oh, no, you're fine, sir.
By keeping proper mental health and emotional health, you stave off the unraveling. Things like resting, sleeping, your hobbies, taking time for yourself. These reinforce you. It refocuses you. And it pulls your ether back towards you. Condensation.
Hmm.
Over time, as you're doing this, you're radiating yourself. You're using your energy. And your energy right now is finite. Over time, and if you choose to delve into the gift, you'll be able to pull from ether that may not be entirely yours. Gather the loose dust that's out there in the world. You'll still need to exert effort, of course, but it'll be much less just you. More like a 20/80 mix, once you get really good at it.
Right, okay. I'm starting to understand.
Efficiency. That's the name of the game. Once you find your balance, once you make your routine, you refine it. You get more efficient, and you'll grow. You'll become better than you were. And you'll be able to make adjustments to yourself. Be a more efficient self. Or rather, a true self. What you see yourself to be, what you truly believe, you will become that person. Whether it's the color of your eyes, your hair, the tone and the sound of your voice, your emotions, your subconscious will define what you are. So, just let it out. Colors tend to stick though. Well, one.
Mm.
It's a good thing blue's my favorite. Big shocker, I know. Any questions now? Mm. Memory.
Um,
Memory is a good thing. Try eating every now and then. Even just going through the routine. Maybe not a whole meal, but a cup of water. Even if you spill it on the floor for now. Go ahead, make a mess. But don't stop doing it. A part of you, way back in there, believes that you should be eating, that you should be breathing. You don't have to anymore. But if you don't, you get anxious. All work and no play. Sorry, I did interrupt you. You had questions.
more of a concern, honestly.
Sure.
Last time I was walking around here, to put it simply, someone tried to suck me up into a soul gem.
Yes, that can happen. Your ether, soul gems, house ether. And actually, there's some places that use such gems and even your energy as currency. It's very potent in magics. If anything, some people argue that ether and mana are the same thing. So try not to get sucked up. That said, demons love us. We can actually give a very precise denomination of our soul. Pay them in portions rather than full custody. Rather than saying, I'll give you my soul, you can instead barter. I'll give you 2 gems worth of ether. And in time, you'll recover. Might take a few months. Make you quite sleepy. And if you give too much, well, you cease to be. That's what it is if you start delving out your soul like it's stock shares. I don't recommend it. But helpful in a pinch if you're broke.
Okay.
I would recommend that you start carrying around a foci, though. Your own soul gem. You'll find them very helpful for anchoring you in place as well.
Okay.
And it would help prevent someone from whisking you away if you have an anchor. Getting you one would be expensive, though.
How expensive?
Depends on how high quality you want it to be. By having a focus, an anchor, you're essentially picking a spot or a thing, picking a thing where your ether and your mind will be sucked towards. It keeps you in place, more or less. It would be very much be like a new part of you. Not to be mistaken with phylacteries. This is more so like a bait for yourself, rather than a prison. Regardless, it will make you more focused, draw your ether passively, and make your rest much more, well, restful. The secret of my success.
How much would be for a high quality one?
High quality varies depending on what you need it to do. What it would need to be made of is an incredibly pure soulstone. The crystal would need to be impeccably perfect and carved to exact specifications based on the shape of your own mind and soul. It would be... The high quality ones are normally a tandem of two separate jewels. Each jewel would house a part of your consciousness. One for your mind, one for your soul. And the space between is the vortex that pulls you together. With that, your consciousness refined and restored. We can do this with lesser stones. Stones that are perhaps not cut so precisely. Or stones that attempt to do the job of both at the same time. Cutting cost. Lesser effect, but quite livable. There might just be a little bit more brain fog. Similar to what you're dealing with now. Much less, though. You're likely only running at maybe 20% of your potential, as you are now. And likely eroding. I will say, dear, not to threaten you, but in a few years' time, you will likely degrade, regardless of how willful you are. At a certain point, you do need a vessel, or else you will erode. That is, I'm afraid, unavoidable. You will need external help eventually. Or you will need a body. Do you want me to go back to the upper cost? A perfect gem made perfectly for you, I will say, is priceless. If you acquired it, you would be effectively immortal. It would be perfect. Your efficiency So long as you take care of your proper routine and rest, recuperate, you would get completely perfect returns. You would be whole, essentially. And coming and going, while with effort, you wouldn't lose. Right now, you're not running an efficient machine. You're losing energy with every turn of the wheel, much like your mortal life. No matter how much you regenerate, no matter how much you consume, the cells erode, they make mistakes. And so you age and decay, fall to the cycle. Am I making sense?
Yes, sir.
It's a lot, I know. Then again, this is just my findings. I doubt anyone else will explain them to you in such precise detail, however.
No, to be honest, sir, I'm the one who's mostly taking your time to even explain all this to me.
You could say it's my life's work. Defining what consciousness is and preserving it. Escaping the cycle. Because, dare I say, even the cycle itself, the eternal wheel, even it isn't perfect. Ether is lost. Things get colder. And eventually, even the mightiest of mountains degrade to dust and nothing more. My work is to stop that. To free you, essentially. But I'm afraid that does not come free. So rather than tell me, give you a price, my dear, give me an offer, and I will provide you a soul stone or foci that befits your budget and what you're willing to provide. It can be time, it can be effort, it can be hard work, or it can be resources. For you, dear, all it comes down to is that you name your currency and how much you want to give.
Got gold and I got credits.
You have ether, you have time, and you have freedom. You can work it off as well. I could offer you a job. Then again, some would call that indentured servitude. I would take a portion of your check. The rest would provide you an adequate amount to live a life. That is, if you're still seeking employment.
I have been trying to look for other jobs to work at.
What interests you?
Well, currently I work as a researcher and an archivist.
I could use that, actually. Archiving is very good. Data entry.
Mm.
Are you afraid of working in a cubicle? Or
Oh,
we
no.
could actually just take you away from a desk job. Well, it would still be a desk job. Have you actually work the archive? Processing names and human resources, in a way. Many people coming and going, after all. I mean, traveling, if that helps ease you.
Mm.
Or
I can do that.
perhaps rather than the travel agency, perhaps the government branch. If you're down for dealing with paperwork, IDs, logistics, licenses. Up to you. Lots of names. Birth certificates, death certificates.
I will admit, paperwork is kind of a guilty pleasure for me.
Really?
Yeah.
All right, well, would you rather work for a travel agency, doing some of the backroom cataloging and paperwork, logistics, data entry? Or, dare I say, do you want to work for the government?
Mm,
It would be just
I can
about the
do the
same
government
sort of
stuff.
work, just different topics. You're sure?
I can do the government work.
All right.
Yeah.
There would be some, of course, I would need to assess you.
Mm.
And you're not going to be doing much work until you can actually pick up a pen.
Ah. I've been able to pick up pens.
Enough to work a part-time job?
Mm-hmm.
You'd need to be corporeal for at least 3 hours out of the day. And that would mean that you're leaving no time for yourself either. And that's not healthy. All work, no play. So how about this? A payment plan for your first soldier. Something that will allow you to be more corporeal for a time. You likely won't be able to do anything too extraneous. No fancy powers for a while, I'm afraid. Well, aside from what comes naturally for us. Material or manifesting is the term. Manifesting will come very naturally to you. In fact, you're already doing it. And learning how to safely unmanifest is a useful skill. Comes with practice and very natural for you. Using the gem, you should be able to do at least that safely, even with a cheap one.
Okay.
Okay. I think a single gem will do. I think I can already ration which material to use as well. I could get you something. It would come down to, do you want it to be personalized or just something more general? It will affect the price, but the results will be about the same.
Well, I was thinking more of a necklace for me.
Perfectly fine. I can work it into any sort of jewelry. I was more so meaning the shape and color.
Maybe a blue moon?
Like your eyes. All right.
Yes, sir.
Oh, you mean blue moon. That's the color and the shape, you mean. A crescent.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't just have to be a necklace, by the way. It could be a brooch, an earring, tongue piercing, for those who like to be secretive. It does need to have a amount of mass, however. So some piercings don't work very well. I've seen one make it work on their navel. Something else is that it should be somewhere accessible. Keep that in mind. So,
Yes, sir.
a blue crescent moon.
Mm-hmm.
Very well. So it shall be. In exchange, here's what I'll give you. I'll provide you a short period with guidance from licensed professionals. A short time for you to acquaint yourself with your new capability. In exchange, I'll give you a payment plan, and once this plan is completed, the gem is effectively yours, and we will no longer dock your pay. Is that fair?
Yes, sir.
Understood. You do not need to remain in my employ if you do not enjoy the work, but if you do decide to depart, we will be billing you for the remaining sum. Is that fair? Good. A lesser quality gem will go for somewhere around 10 to 15,000. Based on how you want yours personalized, 15,000 will do quite well. And with the salary I'll be providing you, you could have that fully paid between 6 months to a year, depending on how much you want to go, while being able to live comfortably. Is that fair? You'll be working for the government after all. You'll have a quite generous salary, so long as you're doing good work. That and your actual position will have rules, mostly along the lines of professionalism and confidentiality. We'll start you off part-time, and if you're doing well, we'll move you on to full-time hours. Your availability, you can select yourself. All fair?
Yes, sir.
Lovely. Now, to make sure that you can live off your salary, if you do remain part-time, more than likely the payment plan will be docking you for 2 or 3 years. And I will refuse to provide you with another gem until it is fully paid. All's fair?
Yes, Mr. Hemwick.
Lovely. Now, for the sake of transparency, please do not meddle with the gem. It is made with very precise intent in order to do what you need it to. Tampering with it, whether you wish to, how do I put this, modify your experience, will only result in disaster. There's other ways to enjoy boons. Right?
Understood.
Good. Don't tamper with it, and don't let others tamper on it. A side effect, or something that you should keep in mind, your focus. You can only be bound to one at a time. And wherever it is, you go. So, while you will eventually bind to it, if someone does happen to take it from you, wherever that person takes your gem, within a day's time, you will be taken to it. It is where your mind and your soul, your entire being, will wish to be where you will need to be. That is how it functions. It pulls you to it. And over that time, where you are currently, will weaken drastically. You can't be in two places at the same time. Once the majority of your mind, of your being, is pulled to it, wherever you are at the current will then cease to be. So once you hit 51%, you'll be pulled away. It is very important that you do not lose it. So, my biggest recommendation to you, my dear, never lend out your gem. It will bind to you over a short time, and in fact the ritual where I attune it to you should assure that. You should have no worries of losing it. Or, for example, when I fade away, you'll notice it goes with me. It doesn't just clatter to the ground. It will be part of you, like an organ. but it can be stolen if you give it willingly. It as well can be damaged, just like any organ. If it is destroyed, you will start to evaporate quickly, and you'll likely return to a diminished state, like you are currently, where you will struggle to do more strenuous tasks, and you will likely tire quickly. Trust me, once you have this gem, you will feel very energetic compared to how you do now. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Right. Our terms, then. You are agreeing to work as an archivist for the Palace District. We do already have offices that are available on site, but due to the current crisis and the martial law, many of our operations are currently being outsourced. This is going to change very quickly. We'll likely have you trained off-site for the time being. Some information will be too confidential for you to work from home with. So, your ability will be limited. This time, I recommend that you spend on training, learning how the system works, going through courses and the like, getting your permits and your certifications. Make sense?
Yes, sir.
Good. Once all these certifications are done, more than likely, our offices will be fully open, and if everything goes according to plan and everyone behaves themselves, we will be properly running government and society within Palace by then. That said, you will be getting paid by the gentleman who, as you said previously, some people were making very unsavory comments of. Not everyone likes me working here. Political choice, but is what it is. Keep that in mind. People might disagree with who's paying you. Right? Your job will be to simply handle archiving, data entry, and keeping our paperwork organized. You will notice much of our more sensitive documentation is not digital. You will be working via pen and book. I keep everything physical. With safe copies, of course. But in the age of the digital, it's very easy for ne'er-do-wells to get their hands on very, very sensitive information. I don't like that. Is that acceptable?
Yes, sir.
Very well. Miss Marigold, could you please define for me your full name?
Marigold Mary Monroe.
Is that your chosen name?
Me, is it the name I picked up for myself after I died? Yes.
I see where your inspiration comes from. Do you be careful of those upward vents? I loved her work as an
I know
actress.
better not to use my real name.
Very well. This is your official name, however. Yes?
Yes, sir.
Good. From this point forward, please consider that your legal name. Miss Marigold Monroe, you are accepting terms that you will be working as an archivist under the Hemwick government. A portion of your pay will be docked in order to pay off a loaned soul gem in order to allow you to better see to your responsibilities and, of course, enabling you to have a personal life. You will only be required to communicate with us during your appointed and scheduled work hours based on the availability that you provide us. There will be a large amount of documents and, of course, non-disclosure agreements that you will need to adhere to in order to ensure that you are not giving away government secrets or people's private information. I'm sure you understand.
Yes, sir.
Much of the legality of it will be handled in its own way. There will be other forms. Very well. In exchange, I will be providing you a stable salary based on the amount of hours that you put forward, as well as said soul gem, which will be your new foci, and upon delivery, I will assist you in attuning to it and being properly bound. I will provide you 1 month to acquaint yourself to your new capability, and from there we will assess what duties you are capable of and for how long. Acceptable?
Yes, sir.
Good. We will evaluate your capability and your working periods will be based on 40% of the amount of time you are able to remain manifested for. Out of the day, of course.
Mm.
All right? Very well. Very good. If you could just confirm that the spelling is correct, and do your best to sign on the line. This is for the gem
Okey-dokey.
and the payment plan. Let me know when you're done.
And please to sign it.
Lovely. That will handle the gem. The employment. Well, once you have the gem, you'll have to sign all of those documents by, well, more mundane means.
Mm.
Any concerns?
No, sir.
Very well. If you do have cold feet or second thoughts, the contract you just signed can be voided until we bind you to that gem. If you change your mind, it's fine until we lock this in. Right? So, if your friends don't much care for you signing a deal with the Blue Boogeyman, well, I'm not heartless. Well, physically, yes, but I can sympathize.
All right.
All right. I look forward to this, Miss Monroe. Anything else you need? I should likely be going.
No, sir.
Right. You take care of yourself. Is there anywhere you would like to be dropped off? Anywhere I can find you?
Uh, typically my home.
Yeah.
Well, my current residence.
We'll stop by the office, and once we're there, you can give me directions on the way. How does that sound?
Mm,
Good.
that sounds alright.
Lovely. Not forgetting anything. Everyone in the same amount of pieces they were when they arrived. Simply step through, my dear, and let's get you home. Besides, I need to know where I'm dropping off the package. Perfectly
Okay.
safe, I'm sure. And rather than asking you to give me a precise address to a place that does not actually exist, yes, Miss Monroe will be delivered home, wherever it may be, or wherever you choose to make Jonas believe that home is for you.
Mm.
Um, I will give you precise details of how the gem works in some notes through DMs.
Okay.
And if you have any questions at all, just let me know, and I will be more than glad to detail them for you. This particular thing I've gone into excruciating detail for.
Mm.
Okay? If you have any friends who are
All
concerned
right.
or who are curious, feel free to let them know that they can contact me. And if anything else pops up, you let me know. As for
Understood.
model work, if you actually want to add the gem, feel free to use whatever you wish. You are not required to have it on your model. Okay? I will never force
All right.
someone to do model work. We happy? Was that fair?
Yep.
Was that okay? You just signed your life away.
It was
You just made a
great.
deal with the devil. I'll be honest, I'm kind of the big bad guy number one right now. Well, no, I'm sorry, I'm discount Malleus McKay, but you know, we have Malleus McKay at home. So I love that bit. I love that. I hear it pretty often. I'm just okay. Sure, completely different themes, but all right. It's just because we're both like
Mm.
flamboyant. I'm pretty sure is what it is.
Ah.
Yeah, they hate me because I'm sexy. All good?
Yep. All good.
You have a good night there, Motherly. I am going to peace out. I'm going to get something to eat. Hopefully before everything closes.
Please. Do take care of yourself.
I'll be fine. Ta-ta, dear.
Ta-ta.
Piff! Thank you for joining me, guys. I just realized now I did not have music playing that entire time. But you know what? It was fine. I hope it was a good day for you all. Just something short. New employee. I'm not going to make her... She's not going to be part of the core Hemwick team. She's like entry-level worker. So she should be completely safe. It's just like how a hero works delivery jobs for us. It's going to be just like that. He's like it's an entry level job. He's not doing any like the big villain stuff. Same thing with Miss Monroe here. She'll be fine. Anyway, I'm gonna get something to eat, guys. Nighty night. Take care of yourself. Bye bye.